multi-everything people out there. Take it away.
Find your glory, write your story, fearless feet will carry you. Time you own it, take your moment, be a fire burning through. Hustling from night until morning, grinding it out, it won't be long. Feel your power, it's your hour, you inspire, you are strong.
Enjoy your Zoa. No applause? You're all fired.
Hey! Good morning, America. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Money! Are you ready? They are ready. Covering the biggest events in the country right now.
There's a lot going on here this morning.
It's always a good time. That's what the show's about.
That's good.
Really good. Very good.
Coming in hot. Jimmy coming in hot.
It's far from elementary.
Oh, good morning, America.
I'm not going to try to strut like Michael or anything.
I have known George a long, long time.
Have you ever gotten him to dance?
Look at that face.
You don't just see it, you feel it.
I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm in too.
I'll be there.
I am here and so happy.
I'm in.
I'm in too.
I'm in.
That tells you something when Snoop Dogg's in. Michael, George, where?
Ginger.
Hey!
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
Well, hello to you
you. Good morning, everybody. Happy Halloween. We have made it through another week, y'all. My Lord Jesus. I enjoyed my off day yesterday for YouTube, but glad to be back on tour with all of you. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 destinations for you all. And by the way, I did not recognize that we only had 6 destinations for the last show. But you know what, though? Here's the thing about me and this platform and our show. If it's a good show, it's a good show. Because sometimes when I add a 7th or 8th destination, sometimes the show can feel a little rushed. So we may do 6 destinations from time to time, just so that way things can breathe more. But also, too, that's the fun of bringing these virtual tour live is we're live on tour. We're hitting every destination that you guys are traveling to virtually rather. So we got Hurricane Melissa, some updates for you on that hurricane. It has made landfall in Cuba, and there is some devastating news that I have to bring you live this morning. Unfortunately, I'm sad to say that, but of course, we cover everything else over here. Yes, we do. So we'll talk about that. Gayle King leaving CBS Mornings. I have thoughts on that. Rather, we'll talk about that. Sonia Massey, the bastard who did that to Sonia Massey, was found guilty. So praise be unto God for that. We'll talk about that. P. Diddy looks like he might be getting out in 2028. And wait till you hear where he got transferred to. Child, you cannot make this stuff up. Chloe Gilbert. If you have not heard that name, she is the chief marketing officer of Baller Alert. We'll get into her story live here this morning as well. Megan Thee Stallion, Megan Pete Thompson and Klay Thompson. It looks like things are progressing. I'll give you the intel on that. P Valley, there's a huge update on Nikki Gilbert versus Katori Hall. So we have a lot to get to, everybody. Higher is waiting, low is available, but either way, we got to go on tour. Yes, indeed, we do here. Hang on, wait a minute. What's going on here? Let me take down the psychotic intro here. Oh, my Lord Jesus. Halloween has taken over the channel. Oh, my Lord. Well, listen, we're here. We are here, and one thing, by the way, you see that virtual tour background? Yes, you do. You hear that virtual tour music? Yes, you do. And one thing to know, 2 things for sure, that over here on this channel, a lot, and I do mean a lot, happens early. Roll it.
It's a new morning for America's family. Sun's coming up, so make it all that it can be. You know a lot happens early.
I'm Harry Smith.
I'm Julie Chen. I'm Maggie Rodriguez.
Morning everywhere. Come on, get up.
I'm Russ Mitchell.
And I'm Dave Price.
And it's a little early for this.
Now this it's a new morning for America's family. Sun's coming up, so make it all that it can be. You know a lot happens early. Every day's good when you're starting it out right. But whenever you're in the daylight, and a lot happens early. Can you feel it? And I said,
Good morning, everybody.
Are you girls ready for the Jonas Brothers?
We have an early show exclusive. Yes.
A lot happens early.
A lot.
A lot.
A lot happens
Early.
The Early Show, weekday mornings on CBS.
It's a new morning.
Yes, it is Julie Chen Moonves. It is a new morning over here into Russ Mitchell, Dave Price, Harry Smith, Maggie Rodriguez. You are absolutely right on this channel over here. A lot happens early. Good morning, everybody, and happy Halloween to each and every single one of you. Look, I want y'all to see this. Hang on, look at this. Look at all this. We are here. It's Halloween. Happy Halloween to you if you celebrate that. If you don't, hey, guess what? It's Friday anyway. Welcome in. Glad to have you here. We do have a lot to get to this morning, so let's get to it. We're going to start off with Hurricane Melissa this morning. Yes, indeed, we are. Let me get to it here. Here we go. All right, here we go, everybody. So from USA Today, sad to report this to you all, at least 50 dead as Hurricane Melissa devastates the Caribbean. Bermuda braces for the storm. Yeah, I know. Here we go, everybody. So, of course, this summarizes the news for October 30th, and of course, we will get you the latest coverage in just a minute here. Parts of the Caribbean are conducting search and rescue operations and surveying the extensive destruction of Hurricane Melissa brought to the region, leaving dozens of people dead and drawing an outpouring of support from the international community. Melissa tore through the Caribbean as one of the most powerful storms in recorded history and made landfall in Jamaica on Tuesday as a deadly Category 5 hurricane. By Thursday, the storm had further weakened as it moved over the southeastern Bahamas toward Bermuda, about 500 miles off of the United States East Coast. The hardest hit areas include Jamaica, Cuba, and Haiti, where damaging winds and severe flooding from storm surge in days of rainfall destroyed homes and tore down utility poles. So it looks like this is in Jamaica, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. So as you can see there, I think that is a motorcycle, looks like. But you can see just the devastation there. Rescue and recovery operations are hampered by widespread power outages, communication failures, and blocked roads. The death toll is growing. More than 50 deaths attributed to the storm in Jamaica, Haiti, and the Dominican Republic, as authorities continue to report deaths. There are entire communities that seem to be marooned and also areas that have been flattened, said Jamaica Minister of Education, Skills, Youth, and Information, Dana Dixon. We are trying to get the areas that have been marooned. We will get there. We are going to get every single Jamaican and give them support. The entire Jamaica is really broken because of what has happened, but will remain resilient, Dixon said. Countries, including the United States, have pledged support in the form of cash, food aid, and rescue teams. On Thursday, an urban search and rescue team from Fairfax, Virginia, posted photos on social media as the team flew out to Jamaica as a part of the United States State Department post-hurricane response to the country. Over 50 deaths reported in Haiti, Jamaica, and the Dominican Republic. Authorities in Haiti, which was battered with days of rain, said Thursday that at least 30 people were killed in the storm and 20 more were missing. At least 23 people. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Including 10 children died due to floods in Pete Gove, a coastal town about 40 miles west of the capital, where a river burst its banks. In Jamaica, officials say they had dedicated a helicopter to the recovery of bodies. The country's information minister told Reuters on Thursday that at least 19 people were killed in the storm. Desmond McKenzie, Jamaica's Minister of Local Government and Community Development, acknowledged during a news briefing earlier in the day that there were casualties and the number was expected to rise. He urged the public to wait for official confirmation from local authorities. At least 2 deaths were reported in the Dominican Republic, including one person who died before the storm made landfall, according to the Pan American Health Organization. Before landfall, authorities also reported the storm caused 3 deaths in Jamaica and 3 in Haiti. No deaths were reported in Cuba as of Thursday, but authorities said the island had suffered severe damage. According to Francisco Pichon, resident coordinator for Cuba at the United Nations, more than 200 communities are entirely cut off by flooding and landslides. So more information about potential casualties will be forthcoming as responders access them. Yeah, and this is the devastation in Black River, Jamaica there. That is what you saw on the thumbnail this morning. Just imagine everything you have been there 10 years, 30 years, 50 years. And not to mention, to imagine if you're a child waking up every day in Jamaica, running down the street, going to the local, mom and pop store around the corner. They giving you a lollipop, just to, get you out the store, but, gotta pay next time. And a sense of love, peace, and community. And then just to have a hurricane hit, take everything that you love. Quite devastating for sure there. Power outages, widespread damage reported in hard-hit Jamaica. Over 70% of electrical customers Jamaica remained without power as of Thursday morning, said the country's Energy Minister Daryl Vaz. Many schools remained without power or water, officials said. Aerial footage and photos showed down power lines strewn across the island's roadways. More than 130 roads remain blocked by trees and debris, authorities said. Members of the Jamaica Defense Force cleared roadways on foot into isolated areas as ambulances followed close behind. One road in the hard-hit coastal town of Black River was swamped with more than 4 feet of sand stretching over a mile, according to officials. In a neighborhood of the island's Montego Bay, 77-year-old Alfred Hines waded barefoot through thick mud and debris as he described his narrow escape from the rising floodwaters. At one stage, I see the water at my waist, and after about 10 minutes, I see around my neck, and I make my escape, he told Reuters. I just want to forget, and things come back to normal. Search and rescue teams from the United States were heading to Jamaica on Thursday to assist in recovery efforts. Authorities said Secretary of State Marco Rubio said the U.S. was prepared to offer immediate humanitarian aid to the people of Cuba. And it looks like here, this woman says a helicopter looks like she is pregnant there. So thank God that she is A-okay there. Delivery of relief supplies, access for emergency vehicles. Jamaican officials are using helicopters to deliver relief supplies and transfer patients to other hospitals, Dixon and others said during a news conference. In some locations, helicopters have been unable to find clear spots to land, she said. Dixon also described grueling work being done at some locations to clear roads to allow access for emergency vehicles, such as crews using machetes to cut through bamboo plants. Officials described a great anxiety and uncertainty among island residents who have been unable to contact family members in some of the hardest hit and flooded areas. Some airports were reopened on Thursday for relief flights. Bermuda prepares for Hurricane Melissa's approach. Bermuda was preparing on Thursday for Melissa to pass by to its west overnight. Hurricane tropical storm force winds extend far out from its center and will still reach Bermuda, the National Hurricane Center said. Conditions are expected to rapidly deteriorate in Bermuda through the evening on Thursday, with strong winds and hazardous seas and dangerous currents. As of 11 p.m. Eastern, Melissa had maximum sustained winds of 100 miles per hour and was centered about 160 miles west-southwest of Bermuda, the Hurricane Center said. A hurricane warning was in effect, and forecasters warned that preparation should be rushed to completion before tropical storm force winds reach Bermuda. The country expected to close this roadway Thursday night and shutter schools and ferries on Friday out of an abundance of caution. National Security Minister Michael Weeks said in a statement, I implore all residents to remain vigilant while we navigate another natural threat to our way of life. And so there it is there. That's Hurricane Melissa right here. This is Hurricane Melissa. My Lord. A statement from the Bermuda Tourism Authority emphasized the country's track record of hurricane resilience and advised tourists to follow official updates and contact travel providers with questions about any changes in operations. The Bermuda Hotel Association offers a hurricane guarantee for travels that offer penalty-free cancellations when itineraries are disrupted by hurricanes, the authority stated. Very good. Because you also have to remember that for people going to Haiti and Cuba and the Caribbean, some of these people may not have travel insurance. You know what I mean? Travel insurance is an add-on to any vacation that you do. But not everybody has that. So the fact that the Bermuda Hotel Association offers a hurricane guarantee, that is great for consumers. I know it hurts Bermuda tremendously, but the same token, it's nice to see a country giving a damn uck and ish about its people, unlike the United States. Just keeping it a buck, y'all. The rest of y'all rather voted for the dumb fuck on November 4th, but that's neither here nor there. But it's a very important point. Even as Bermuda banned down for its own brush with Melissa, Premier Gilbert pledged the country's support for Jamaica, which he termed a resilient country with a proud history and a strong connection to Bermuda. The path to recovery and rebuilding will be a long process, and we will continue to work with the government and the people of Jamaica to help where we can. Bert stated, we will play our part as that resilience is tested and join the regional and international effort to aid the recovery. So that is the path of the storm right there. And then Melissa could graze Canada on its way out to sea. After zooming by Bermuda, Melissa will continue northeast, passing the Iwan Peninsula in Newfoundland on Saturday morning as a extratropical hurricane strength storm, according to the Houston-based meteorologist Matt Laza on his blog, The Eyewall. That means it won't be classified as a hurricane. On the current track, forecast impacts would be mostly minor to moderate in southeast Newfoundland and the Avalon Peninsula, with the worst of the storm remain offshore. He said, if for some reason the storm tracks closer to Atlantic Canada, impacts would worsen in Newfoundland. As of now, this looks like a manageable storm, a bit one with the usual hazards from gusty winds to heavy rain, rough seas, and high tides in Newfoundland. U.S. Middle, I was about to say U.S. Middle East, y'all. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry, y'all. Sincerely. U.S. East Coast rather could see life-threatening surf from Melissa. Despite being far out to sea, Melissa could still impact beachgoers along the U.S. East Coast. Ocean swells generated by Melissa are likely to reach the coast of the northeastern United States and Atlantic Canada Friday and persist into the weekend. These swells are likely to cause life-threatening surf and rip current conditions, the Hurricane Center said. So, like I said, do not, under any circumstance. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. Let me get down this pumpkin. Let me get down the pumpkin. Give me a moment. I thought the pumpkin was cute. Okay, I thought the pumpkin was cute. But there you go. Meteorologists, climate change likely a factor in Melissa's rapid intensification. Melissa rapidly intensified last week from a tropical storm to a ferocious major hurricane in less than a day, which many scientists say is a clear signal of human-caused climate change due to the burning of fossil fuels. Why is this? Climate change increases the rapid intensification of hurricanes by making ocean waters warmer, which provides more fuel for storms. Hurricanes gain strength as they move over warm sea water. Increasing the amount of heat in the ocean increases the odds of rapid intensification, with the largest increases in peak intensification rates occurring for the most extreme cases, known meteorologist Jeff Masters on the Yale Climate Connections blog in August. In addition, air that's warmer holds more moisture, and warmer oceans reduce wind shear, allowing storms to strengthen more quickly and become more powerful. All of this leads to a higher probability of rapid intensification and greater number of more intense hurricanes. One study from 2024 in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences said the world's most intense hurricanes are growing even more intense, fueled by rapid rising temperatures in the ocean and atmosphere. American tourists remain stranded in Jamaica. Tourists who were unable to leave Jamaica before Melissa experienced the storm's full force and are now stranded on the island due to flight cancellations. Jen Ele, a teacher from Silver Spring, Maryland, was on vacation at the RIU Aquarel Resort in Falmouth, Jamaica, when the storm hit. Falmouth is in northwestern Jamaica. I went to Jamaica to celebrate her birthday. She said via text on Thursday, we arrived on Thursday. We were set to leave on Monday. Once the storm finally started, there was a lot of wind and rain. We boarded up the balcony door/window in our room with the beds, box spring, dresser, and couch. During the storm, we heard a lot of commotion in the hallways, I'm assuming from the wind and the breeze. She said at one point, everything went silent for about 90 minutes. Then the wind picked up again. We could feel the building swaying. After the rain stopped, there was a strange howling sound from the wind that was loud, constant, and all night long. LRA says she's still not sure when she will return to the United States. Spy cell service and internet access have made it difficult to book another return flight. State Department issues declaration of humanitarian need for Cuba after Hurricane Melissa. That should be for Haiti and the Caribbean as well, but that's neither here nor there, but it's a very important point. Secretary of State Marco Rubio released a statement on Thursday regarding Melissa's devastation to eastern Cuba. But the Force administration stands with the brave Cuban people who continue to struggle with basic needs. Really? This dude did a AI video of a mariachi band to be racist to Hakeem Jeffries. But the Force administration is standing with the brave Cuban people. Okay, child. Listen, I'm not making this a political issue. I'm really not, because human beings are human beings. But this is bullshit. This is some bullshit. Okay. All right. Stay at Rubio, whose parents immigrated to the United States from Cuba in 1956, as in neighboring communities, the State Department is issuing a declaration for humanitarian need for Cuba. It's prepared to provide immediate humanitarian assistance directly and via local partners who can most effectively deliver it to those in need. Although the United States has an economic embargo against Cuba, there are exemptions and authorizations for private donations of food, medicine, and other humanitarian supplies and disaster reply, according to the department's statement. Anyone who wants to directly support the Cuban people should contact the State Department if there's any questions or issues at cubahumanitarian@state.gov. The strained relationship between the U.S. and Cuba for more than 60 years has produced a mixed record on offers and acceptance of aid between the two countries. Former President George W. Bush's administration declined Cuba's offer to send doctors to New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina in 2005. After Gustav in 2008, the United States provided $100,000 in immediate emergency assistance to non-governmental organizations working in humanitarian relief in Cuba. The U.S. also committed to providing up to $5 million in relief assistance to Cuban hurricane victims, but a day after the assistance was offered, the Cuban government declined the offer. Cuba has maintained relief partnerships with other countries. After Category 5 Hurricane Irma struck the island in 2017, the United States sent response teams to other Caribbean islands, but did not send a team to Cuba. That's because the small country had not made a required request for assistance, the USA Today report. After Hurricane Ian in 2022, Cuba's government requested emergency assistance after the entire island lost electricity. The U.S. said it will provide $2 million for emergency relief through the U.S. Agency for International Development. So if you're wanting to know how you can help the Caribbean nations devastated by Hurricane Melissa, humanitarian organizations have begun mobilizing to provide immediate relief and prepare for long-term recovery after the storm. You can help with donations and other forms of support for organizations including American Friends of Jamaica, the American Red Cross, AmeriCares, Caregiving, Global Giving, and Salvation Army, and some others. And also, too, I'll bring up this link here. And bring up that link as well. Jamaican officials also launched the Support Jamaica website, supportjamaica.gov.jm, where you can make a donation. The government has also warned that there have been nefarious individuals collecting money on behalf of the government. I wonder if that has something to do with a GoFundMe. Maybe, maybe not. Moving on. But only on sites that end in gov.jm are official government sites. So there you go. They're contributing Nidea, Yancy Bragg, and Samantha Neely, USA Today, and Reuters. Thank you all so much for that. So here is the website right here. Okay, so this is the website. I will put that in the live chatterization for you all. So if you want to help, go to this site right here. If you want to help, go to this site right here. So I'll put that in the live chat here. And like I said, if it has gov.jm, that's the official government website. Okay, that's the official government website. So you got the preliminary national needs list, report incidents, and donate now. So this is the official website here. And then, of course, you can, depending on your currency, your name, email address, phone number, address, all that there. So this is the official website here. Let's see if we play this video. Okay, here we go.
My fellow Jamaicans, Hurricane Melissa is now a Category 4 hurricane. Approximately 100 miles south of Kingston, heading westward at 5 miles per hour, it is projected to turn north. We are already experiencing rain and overcast conditions. Based on current assessments, all of Jamaica will likely be affected by hurricane conditions, meaning heavy rains and winds above 100 miles per hour. It is also likely that hurricane conditions could linger over Jamaica due to the slow-moving nature of this system. Given the extended days of rains leading up to landfall and the expected inundation from the actual passage, we can expect general flash floodings across the island. However, low-lying areas, coastal areas, river courses, gullies, and waterways will overflow either from excess rain or storm surges. Extended rainfall and heavy rainflows will also trigger landslides in hilly areas. Buildings and activities in or along those waterways or hillsides will be at high risk of damage, complete displacement, and loss of life. Hurricane winds will most certainly damage roofs and compromise some structures. By all assessments of the current situation, while we pray for the best, hour by hour, it is becoming apparent that the impact of Hurricane Melissa could be greater than Hurricane Beryl, certainly in terms of rainfall and flooding. We can lessen damage and speed up recovery by taking preparatory and precautionary measures before the impact of the hurricane. It is expected that Hurricane Melissa will make landfall on Tuesday. I take this opportunity to reinforce the appeal to residents of low-lying areas, historically flood-prone areas, gully banks, riverbanks, hillsides, and other vulnerable areas to take precautions to protect your property where possible, prepare your evacuation plan, and comply with the evacuation orders given. Avoid unnecessary risks such as playing in flood waters and waterways, climbing trees and roofs during the hurricane, shelter in place, stay inside during the hurricane. We have issued an order under the Disaster Risk Management Act declaring the entire island of Jamaica a threatened area. This provides us with the legal framework to take all necessary measures to safeguard lives and property during the hurricane. All our national agencies, ODPEM, the JDF, the JCF, the NWA, and our first responders are on high alert. Shelters have been prepared, supplies pre-positioned, and emergency teams are standing by across the island. At the time of impact, the government will declare a disaster under the DRMA, along with the various other measures necessary from time to time to take us safely through the periods of disaster, relief, and recovery. Today, I signed a compulsory evacuation order for several communities along the South Coast, which will empower ODPEM to act as necessary to have persons evacuated from high-risk areas to save lives. We have also issued an order under the Trade Act to prevent price gouging. No one should seek to profit from the hardship of a disaster. The Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining will be issuing a recommended price list for all market produce. We have intensified our drain cleaning and mitigation programs across the island, targeting critical areas that are most vulnerable to flooding. Over 400 million Jamaican dollars has so far been allocated for drain cleaning and waterway cleanup, including at least $3 million to each constituency to carry out emergency drain cleaning and local preparedness. In addition to preparing the country for the impact of the hurricane, we are also taking steps to position ourselves for the recovery following impact. The security forces will ensure there is no break in public order during and after the hurricane. We will take all steps under the law to protect life and property from looting and other antisocial behavior. We urge all citizens to maintain the peace, observe the laws and various orders that may be issued, and act wisely in limiting movement and gatherings to what is necessary. Your government has built out a comprehensive multi-layered disaster risk financing framework to ensure that we can respond quickly and effectively. We have the National Natural Disaster Risk Fund and the Contingency Fund, which we will use to start the relief and recovery process. Beyond these, there are additional layers of insurance protection that are triggered once specific impact thresholds are met, along with contingent credit facilities. The NWA, JDF, NSWMA, local governments, and our utilities are all prepared to reopen roads, restore access, and reinstate service to ensure a quick recovery. The Ministry of Labour and Social Security, supported by the JDF, is fully prepared to lead the humanitarian relief effort and the data gathering for damage assessment. Please play your part in having your identification and other documentation ready if you have to apply or register for relief. The Ministry of Agriculture is ready to offer support to our farmers and fishers to ensure that they are back out in the field as soon as possible. The Ministry of Health is making plans for major mosquito and other vector control initiatives immediately after the hurricane to avoid outbreaks of diseases, especially dengue. I want to take this moment to recognize our frontline workers, our healthcare professionals, police officers, soldiers, firefighters, utility crews, and all essential personnel who will be out there risking their lives to protect ours and to serve us. With preparation, discipline, and care for one another, we will come through this safely, as we have done so many times before. And let us remember, it is in times like these that Jamaica's true character shines through. Reach out to your neighbor, check on the elderly, check on persons with disabilities, and anyone who may need help. That is who we are, a people who live by the principle, each one help one. While we must prepare for the worst, let us also pray for the best. In every adversity, we have found strength, not only in our resilience, but in the power of prayer. So wherever you are, I encourage you to gather your family and pray for protection, for calm, and for each other, trusting that God, who has seen Jamaica through every storm, will carry us safely through this one too. My Jamaican family, we will weather this storm, and when the sky is clear, we will come together to restore and build stronger, prouder, and more resilient than before. Keep safe, everyone. May God bless you, protect your families, and keep safe our beloved Jamaica land we love.
Amen. Now that is how you're supposed to protect people, how you're supposed to love on people, how you're supposed to move about giving a fuck. Can he be the next United States president? Because this dumb fuck, we can't wait for his ass to get out here in 2028. Okay? Can we please have this brother be the next president? Please. Okay? Listen. I know I said Governor Westmore, okay, and Jasmine Crockett Lee, vice president, me, press secretary, but this brother could be a candidate as well. I would take him over Stephen A. Smith being president, because that's how you run shit. And good morning, CEO Finance Queen. Glad to have you here, gorgeous. We are in the middle of Hurricane Melissa coverage right now. As you can see, Halloween has taken over the channel. Happy Halloween to Lati Dati and everybody. Yes, indeed. Let's get to some more things here. Some live updates for you all right now from the USA Today. Communities across the Northern Caribbean are reeling in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa on Friday after the storm left a trail of devastation as it tore through the region as one of the most strongest Atlantic storms on record. The hurricane brought torrential rains and damaging winds, which left hundreds of thousands without power, destroyed homes and scattered fields with debris. Through rescue and recovery operations, Though rescue and recovery operations were underway, efforts continued to be hindered by widespread power outages and blocked roads. Friday morning, Melissa barreled away from Bermuda after making its closest approach about 2 a.m. Eastern, reaching about 150 miles northwest from land as a Category 1 storm. Now, you got to remember, this was a Category 5, then dropped down to Category 3, and now 2, and now 1. So, thankfully, this hurricane is basically over. But it's not over until the coast is cleared by the people who can say the coast is clear. So still be on alert, everybody, for sure there. Like I said, 150 miles northwest from land, that's Category 1 storm with hurricane force wind gusts reaching Bermuda. The National Hurricane Center said by 5 a.m. Melissa was packing 90 mile per hour winds and retreating to the northeast at 41 miles per hour. In Jamaica, local authorities said crews and residents were working to assist with relief support. Desmond McKenzie, the country's Minister of Local Government and Community Development, previously said over 170 communities across 6 parishes were mildly or severely affected by the storm. The entire Jamaica is really heartbroken because of what has happened, but we remain resilient, said the Jamaica Minister of Education, Skills, Youth, and Information, Dana Dixon, on Thursday. We will get there. We are going to get to every single Jamaican and give them support. In Cuba and Haiti, heavy rainfall caused extensive damage, according to Francisco Pichon, President Coordinator for Cuba at the United Nations. More than 200 communities remain isolated and without communications due to flooding and landslides. The hurricane unleashed catastrophic flooding in Haiti, damaging homes and forcing thousands of people into emergency shelters. Officials across the region said they expected the death toll to rise as they continue to verify and report deaths and search for missing people. By Thursday night, at least 50 deaths have been attributed to the storm. And so, as you can see, the devastation there in Jamaica, that's just one of many pictures here. We'll go through some of them live now here. Let's see. So there is that one there. And you can see just the magnitude of the colors of the landscape that looks black and white. Quite a powerful statement there for sure. And then there are Jamaicans doing the best they can with what they got. You know, sometimes when I see pictures like this, I'm just like, these people have more of a grip on reality than people caring about a celebrity on TV that wouldn't give a damn if you were alive or dead. Ooh, how we focus on things, ladies and gentlemen, but that's neither here nor there. There is some cows there, power line down. Surprisingly, the cow is still standing because that power line should be done. Another picture there. Oh, Lord. Just the people doing the best they can. At least they found one not submerged underwater there, inside of a hotel there. By the way, shout out to the photographers for getting these vivid pictures. I mean, my Lord, they always say a picture is worth 1,000 words. Yes, they do. Wow. In the field, making it do what it do. Yes, indeed, there. Still standing. Whew. My Lord. So, there is that there. Oh, sorry, y'all. Hang on. I'm so sorry, y'all weren't able to see all those. My bad. Like, what the hell going on? Like I said, we're live. We are live, everybody. So I'll show y'all the pictures one more time. So there's the colorful clothes there in the midst of all this. Sorry, y'all were not able to see that. But don't worry, we got time, y'all. This is our show, okay? We make time for what needs to be made time for. Amen. Oh, Lord. These are the images that are in Haiti, or these are images of the status of Jamaica, rather, right now. Oh, Lord. Oh, my Lord. I think that one says it all there. All right, back to this update here. All right, here we go. At least 50 deaths reported in Haiti, Jamaica, Dominican Republic after Hurricane Melissa. Authorities in Haiti, which was not directly hit by the hurricane but was battered with days of rainfall, said Thursday that at least 30 people were killed in the storm and 20 more were missing. At least 23 people, including 10 children, died due to floods in Picove, a coastal town about 40 miles west of the capital, where a river burst its banks in Jamaica. The country's information minister told Reuters on Thursday that at least 19 people were killed in the storm. Local officials previously said that they had dedicated a helicopter to the recovery of bodies, and authorities were continuing with search and rescue efforts. At least 2 deaths were reported in the Dominican Republic, including one person who died before the storm made landfall, according to the Pan American Health Organization. Before landfall, authorities also reported the storm caused 3 deaths in Jamaica and 3 in Haiti, respectively. Melissa to impact Atlantic Canada, northeast United States next. Hurricane Melissa is expected to weaken to a post-tropical cyclone before passing to the south of the Avalon Peninsula of Newfoundland, Canada on Friday night. The Hurricane Center said it will also reach about 580 miles of Nantucket, Massachusetts later Friday. Swells generated by the storm will impact the northeast United States coast and Atlantic Canada and persist into the weekend, bringing life-threatening rip currents and surf conditions. I'm going to say this to every surfer out there. I know the wave looks high, and you have probably dealt with many waves before. This is no time to get that shot when that wave could take your shot out of here of being alive. Understand? I know I joke and kee and ha-ha about our shit. But when it comes to real shit, the shit that needs to matter, this needs to be reported on. And it's truly sad to me because I'm just like, so wait a minute, we're more concerned about 2 women with 2 beauty care companies and who Portia is dating. And we're concerned with Dr. Heavily running for office. And there are people losing shit in the hurricane. Sincerely. That's what we're focused on. More concerned about Birdman and Tony Braxton. Okay, child. Oh, by the way, to all of the since I'm here, since I'm right here, let me do this because y'all need a status update. Y'all have count today 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Y'all got 16 more days until y'all can make content about Love and Marriage Huntsville. You got 16 more days. Hold out hope, okay? Because you ain't supposed to be making no content right now because apparently it's OWN's #1 show, allegedly. So you got to wait till November 15th to make content. Okay? You just got to wait. You just got to wait. You just got to wait just a little bit because in the words of Anonymous T.
Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's...
Rolling on. Swells generated by the storm will impact the northeast United States coast and Canada and Atlantic Canada and persist into the weekend, bringing life-threatening rip currents and surf conditions, forecasters said. Melissa will bring significant risk to lives, property, and businesses in Newfoundland, AccuWeather reported. Hurricane Melissa is influencing North Carolina ocean conditions. Long period waves of Hurricane Melissa are forecast to bring large surf to North Carolina's Outer Banks on Friday. A significant wave run up may result in the ocean reaching past the dunes in vulnerable locations, said the National Weather Service in Morehead City. Only isolated road closures are expected, the Weather Service said. 5 houses collapsed in Buxton, North Carolina this week, and officials at Cape Hatteras National Seashore has reported other homes remain at risk. A high risk of rip currents is forecast along the Outer Banks in North Carolina coast on Friday from North Topsail Beach to Duck. Because of Melissa's angle as it moves away into the North Atlantic, its swell is not expected to affect the New England coast, said Joe Del Carpini, I think, meteorologist with the Weather Service in Boston. Dozens of health centers impacted by Hurricane Melissa, clinics and hospitals in Jamaica sustained extensive damage when Hurricane Melissa roared through the island nation, and dozens of health centers in Cuba, Haiti, and the Dominican Republic were impacted, according to a report by the Pan-American Health Organization. The hardest hit hospitals were all in the western half of the island, according to the report. Black River Hospital in St. Elizabeth, Jamaica is inoperable with its roof collapsed. Walls damaged and extensive flooding, the report said. Falmouth Hospital in Trey Lonway was severely damaged from storm surge flooding, while Noel Homes in Hanover and Cornwall Regional in St. James were both damaged and had services relocated. 5 hospitals in Jamaica have reopened for full services. Very, 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 very good. Several other health centers began delivering services during limited hours on Thursday. Government officials said in an update other hospitals are in emergency mode, providing critical and life-saving care only. And of course, if you want to help the Caribbean nations devastated by Hurricane Melissa, humanitarian organizations have begun mobilizing to provide immediate relief and prepare for a long recovery after the storm. You can help with donations and other forms of support for organizations, including American Friends of Jamaica, the American Red Cross, AmeriCares Care, Global Giving, the Salvation Army, and several others. See a full list there. We'll look at that list here in a minute. And then, of course, I already showed you guys this website, support.jamaica.jm. Jamaican officials also launched the Support Jamaica website at supportjamaica.gov.jm, where you can make a donation. The government also warned that there have been nefarious individuals collecting money on behalf of the government, but only sites that nn.gov.jm are government official websites. So that is everything you need to know there. And then, of course, right here. So here's everybody. Friends of Jamaica, AmeriCares Care, Core Community Organized Relief Effort, Direct Relief Footprint Project, Global Giving, Good 360, International Medical Corps, Project Hope, Salvation Army, United Way, World Central Kitchen, World Food Program. Those are all there. Dear God, I come to you right now in the mighty name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. I know that there are many people hurting in all those countries, to all the celebrities that are doing things behind the scenes. Pray for them, to every doctor, nurse, everybody in the healthcare field who is in the United States who may get on a plane to get over to those countries. Please, light, love, and prayers to them. Let every medical device work. Let every shot work. Let every tool work. God, I don't know if you know this, but you do know all. We've been losing a lot. And sometimes I don't know how to pray for anything anymore because sometimes I feel like prayers are null and void. But then I remember who holds the power. That would be you. So I send all light, love, and prayers to each and every person wanting to help, and even for the people who cannot help it. They are telling people about this story. God bless them, because even though we may not be able to give financially, to be able to give through the power of communication is just as a big enough contribution than anything else. I pray for all this and more. In Jesus' name, yes, 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 amen and amen. All right, y'all, we do have more Brainley's virtual tour live coming up right from the space right here and right now from Variety.com. Gayle King expected to depart as CBS Morning's anchor amid CBS News overhaul. This is an exclusive from Variety.com. Mainstay of the network's morning show may shift to a different role as contract expiration approaches in May. Gayle King, who has been the face of the CBS News morning show for more than a decade, is expected to depart as an anchor of that program next year, according to 4 people with knowledge of the situation. King may shift to a different role at the news division as that is being thoroughly overhauled. May shift to a different role at the news division that is being thoroughly overhauled, rather, under the new Paramount Skydance regime. There. Beautiful rings, by the way, by Ring Fit. Shout out to y'all. Y'all are amazing. King's existing contract is set to expire in May. There are signs CBS would like her to stay on board with the news division, potentially with a deal to produce her own program for the network. Nora O'Donnell, who previously anchored CBS Evening News, stepped down from that role in January and transitioned to being the senior correspondent for CBS News, contributing to a range of programs and coverage. Negotiations are about to ensue, just as Paramount is cutting ties with dozens of staffers at CBS News and hundreds more across the larger company. King will be the latest in the parade of CBS top talent to leave their current roles as the company's corporate ownership shifts from the Redstones to former controlling shareholders, the Ellisons, who have expressed a desire to move CBS away from content they feel tilts too hard toward the liberal. For those of you who don't know, for the Skydance Paramount deal to happen, they had to get an ombudsman. And also, too, they got rid of their diversity, equity, inclusion initiative. So, for example, this good brother right here, his name is Aaron Burnett. He was on Channel 1 News. He went to CNN, and now he is at CBS News. So, one thing that they used to have was CBS Evening News Plus and CBS Morning Plus. They have stopped that as of now. So, this comes to us from CBS Morning News, which is the pre-show to CBS Morning. So let's watch this real quick.
Hurricane Melissa made landfall in Cuba just a short time ago after slamming Jamaica as one of the most powerful storms on record there. Hundreds of thousands of people in Jamaica are waking up in the dark this morning with flooding and landslides threatening recovery efforts. Now, we do not yet know the full scale of Melissa's damage. We can give you a quick live look at Kingston. This is Jamaica's capital city. This shot coming to us via webcam. It apparently avoided a direct hit from the storm, but officials in the country say infrastructure in the nation did take a severe hit and rebuilding will be slow. CBS News' Jared Hill is here with me in studio with more. Jared, good morning. What more do we know?
Hey, good morning, Errol. You know, even as Hurricane Melissa moved past Jamaica overnight, the National Hurricane Center warned that lingering rain could trigger flash floods and landslides. I mean, you can see behind me, we're already getting early glimpses of some of that destruction as President Trump says the U.S. is ready to send humanitarian aid. New images show the extent of the devastation in Jamaica after Hurricane Melissa, one of the strongest storms on record, slammed into the island on Tuesday.
Jamaica's gone through what I can call one of its worst periods.
Heavy storm surge left streets underwater, sustained winds up to 185 miles per hour, ripped off roofs, uprooted trees, and brought down power lines. Local officials say hundreds of thousands of people are without electricity.
Here is our home away from home.
American tourists Steve and Wendy Shirk hunkered down during the storm in a shelter at their resort in Ocho Rios.
The guests, they've been very cooperative. They've been very reassured. There's no panic.
It was peaceful in the shelter.
The storm being watched closely across the U.S., where the latest census shows more than 1 million people identify as Jamaican or Jamaican American.
I have my sisters, I have nephews, I have nieces in Kingston, Jamaica.
Texas restaurant owner Errol Biles has been working to get supplies to the island to help with the recovery.
I've partnered with a local nonprofit organization that is collecting canned foods, personal items, baby diapers, baby food.
Meanwhile, heavy rains and floods now batter Cuba, where thousands have already evacuated. Speaking of those evacuations, Cuba evacuated about 750,000 people ahead of the storm, which landed as a Category 3. A big concern there, though, is what Hurricane Melissa will do to the island's infrastructure, Errol, that is already fragile.
Yeah, we'll keep a close eye on all of this. Jared, thank you.
So,
aid groups are already gearing up to help Jamaica recover and rebuild from Melissa. Last night on the Daily Report, Lindsay Reiser spoke to the director of the World Food Programme's Caribbean office about the challenges WFP and the island now face.
I think it's really important to understand that in a mountainous landscape, what we're looking at are potential for landslides, flash flooding, that has clear impacts on bridges and infrastructure. So the movement of supplies from central depots to the areas where they're needed most is extremely challenging if we don't have access because bridges are wiped out. But in addition, airports, port facilities, the core infrastructure of the country could be impacted, and that may cause delays in bringing support in from outside. But I think it's also important to note that we have major storm surges that have been projected for Southwest Jamaica, and that could cause serious issues with infrastructure, and people are already devastated by the impacts. Some homes, I've seen images of homes that have already been submerged, government buildings that have been completely destroyed. So we are really preparing for the worst and ready to do whatever we can.
And later this hour, we will take you to Jamaica. Our Jason Allen is standing by to update us on conditions there. And meteorologist Rob Marciano will be here with the latest storm.
So the reason why I played that is because, like I said, they are getting rid of their diversity, equity, and inclusion initiative. So there may not be anybody black or of minority, indigenous people, color, descent reporting at CBS News. So I want to play that to show you that we could lose great talent, such as those gentlemen there. Negotiations are about to ensue just as Paramount is cutting ties with dozens of staffers at CBS News and hundreds more across the larger company. King will be the latest parade of top CBS talent to leave their current role as the company's corporate ownership shifts from the Redstones, the former controlling shareholders, to the Ellisons, who have expressed a desire to move CBS away from content that they feel tilts too hard towards the liberal. Barry Weiss, a digital entrepreneur who launched the conservative opinion site, The Free Press, and Paramount bought The Free Press. So is it really free if it has a slant? No, not really. Was named editor-in-chief of CBS News earlier this month. King's future at the division is high on the list of issues that Weiss needs to address. In response to Rice's request for a comment about King's future at CBS Mornings, a CBS spokesperson said there have been no discussions with Gayle about her contract that runs through May of 2026. She's a truly valued part of CBS. We look forward to engaging with her about the future. An attorney for King, Lauren Shine of Grubman-Shire, Masalis, and Sachs did not respond to requests for comment. As the Ellisons tightened their grip on Paramount, CBS has made significant changes. CBS canceled its signature late-night program, The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, which will end in May ahead of the official sale of Paramount to Skydance Media, which they canceled a late-night show that they said has been number one for 9 straight seasons, and that show won an Emmy for Best Show in Late Night Television. Such a smart team at Paramount. Skydance said no one ever. And the network is parting ways with John Dickerson, one half of the current anchor team of CBS Evening News. On Wednesday, CBS News said it will overhaul its Saturday morning program and cut ties with co-anchors Michelle Miller and Dana Jacobson, as well as the show's executive producer Brian Applegate. Lisa Ling and Nikki Baptiste are among the other well-known staffers who will leave. Now, I will say this, right? Even though CBS Mornings really doesn't make any motion, it is still a critical piece of CBS News, right? And Sunday morning will never be touched Barry Weiss would be very fucking stupid. And this doesn't have anything to do with her being a white woman. I wouldn't care if she was a black woman, Indian woman. I would not give a fuck. I would say the same thing about man. When it comes to media and you are new, okay, you listen, it is easy to run your own shit. Okay, do what the fuck you want to do, when you want to do it, how you want to do it. But when you're coming into an institution like CBS News and you're overhauling the Saturday morning program, which the Saturday morning program, yes, it covers news, but it covers arts and culture. And people actually like that format, you're fucking up. A real one will go around and say, okay, let me see the road. Let me see the map of CBS News. Okay, so we got CBS. So we got CBS mornings right here. We have CBS Saturday morning here. We have Sunday morning here. We have 60 Minutes here. We have CBS Evening News. Okay, let me sit down with each team. What is working for you? What is not working for you? And what has kept you steady? Then from there, you get a team who actually knows what the fuck they're doing to have a collaborative process to see how you can make significant changes for the better in each area of the organization. It should not be a 31-year-old in his bed in Ohio being better than a white woman in New York fucking City taking over CBS News. I should be doing the job better than her ass. Okay? Just keeping it, but this is just boggling my whole mind. Moving King is a risky maneuver, especially because morning TV is built on the relationships viewers build with the host. If audiences feel King was pushed out for no good reason, they could be ripe for the picking by rivals like NBC's Today or ABC's Good Morning America. NBC News have discovered this challenge twice over the years. Audiences did warm to Deborah Norville when she became co-anchor of Today in 1989 because they perceived she had bumped previous co-host Jane Pauley, and viewers were disenchanted with Today in 2012 when Ann Curry was pushed from her co-anchor role after producers became concerned about her rapport between her and co-host Matt Lauer. Viewers, however, didn't feel the same way, and Today continued to lose audience and ratings following her exit. At the same time, CBS morning programs have long run in third place behind NBC and ABC, despite multiple changes of the format and the talent behind the early hours. Thus, CBS Mornings lured an average of just 1.8 million viewers during the 5 days that ended October 24th, according to data from Nielsen. During that same time frame, ABC's Good Morning America captured an average of nearly 2.71 million, while NBC's Today attracted an average of nearly 2.69 million. To Paramount Skydance executives had recruited Weiss to bring more energy to the CBS News programming schedule, and CEO Dave Ellison said he wants to appeal to a broader set of viewers across the nation. King, who first entered the deal at CBS News in November 2011 and joined CBS This Morning the following January, has held forth in morning TV for 14 years. Oh my God. You're almost at a decade and a half. Congratulations, Gayle King. Oh my God, let me tell you something. To do that in today's society, with mergers and acquisitions happening left and right, up and down, inside and out, very well done to Gayle King. I always give credit where credit is due. No small feat in the current media landscape. CBS gained some traction with her first program, CBS This Morning, which she worked alongside Charlie Rose and Norah O'Donnell. Before that, it was Gayle King, Charlie Rose, Erica Hill. Then, of course, it was Charlie Rose, Norah O'Donnell for that crew, like I said there. But then John Dickerson came in as a host. Then Bianca Rodrigo, who used to work at ABC News, came over. And then Anthony Mason was an anchor there with Tony DeCopel. He left to be a cultural correspondent for the organization of CBS News. And then Nate Burleson, who was on Extras correspondent, who does NFL Day and Nickelodeon NFL Slime Time, is now an anchor at CBS Mornings. I know. How did you do that? I study this thing, okay? I study this thing. When Rose left after allegations of sexual harassment, which he denied, King helped move the show forward along with Anthony Mason, John Nicole, and Nate Burleson. The show is now known as CBS Mornings. With the economics of news lesson as viewers move to streaming social media for their early facts, traditional TV news venues have been parting ways with veteran anchors, and correspondents are moving them to less costly positions. CBS's Nora O'Donnell, NBC News Hoda Kotb, and Andrea Mitchell, Fox News Steve Doocy are among those who have shifted out prominent daily anchor jobs in favor of new roles that keep them tethered to their networks but give them less regular screen time. Veterans who have left their news employers over the past year include CNN's Chris Wallace, who used to work at Fox News for Fox News Sunday, but he went over to CNN. Alison Camerata, who was also at Fox News, but then moved over to CNN for CNN New Day, and then Fox News is Neil Cavito. But Neil Cavito had a health issue where, his eye went blurry, but he still anchored every single day, and I give him a ton of credit for that. Meanwhile, NBC News and CNN are among the outlets that have cut or rearranged positions as they seek to move to new distribution models. King has created several landmark moments during her tenure. In 2019, she drew major attention for an interview with R. Kelly, kept her composure as the singer-producer rose from the seat and shouted at her while denying the charges of child sexual abuse that later put him in prison. Earlier this year, King traveled to space on a Blue Origin flight alongside a crew of all-female astronauts. They're not actual astronauts. Like actual astronauts, they do this shit, okay? They are human beings that went up into space, okay? Just keep it a buck. Katy Perry, Lawrence Sanchez, and others. She also helped CBS News cultivate a relationship with Oprah Winfrey, which Oprah has done specials on CBS. For example, the Meghan and Harry interview special that was on CBS. And also, too, in the early days, I remember one distinctive period in time where it was the Lance Armstrong interview. We've actually played not the interview of Oprah and Lance Armstrong, but Oprah, when she still had Harpo Studios, she literally broadcasted live from Harpo Studios, and they brought her to the table. CBS this morning was a very unique concept. They were in a studio called Studio 57, and they had real exposed brick. They had a green room built into the set, which I thought was really, really cool, but also you had to be on your best behavior because they could throw to you at any time. And then they were going to have the newsroom be a part of the show, but because they couldn't do that, they literally recreated the control room on these monitors, and they had on-set producers that they could go over and talk to. It was really, really cool, and a custom table for each anchor and these LED video screens where you could virtually come into the conversation. It was fantastic. Now, did I watch the show? No, I did not. But I think that they should have stuck with Studio 57. Because nobody asked them to move to Times Square. They had nothing to contribute to Times Square. GMA should be in Times Square. And that's why I keep playing that commercial, because that was the last commercial that was filmed in Times Square. And by the way, happy 50th to Good Morning America. Y'all should be celebrating your 50th from Times Square, not in the basement of a glorified building named after oneself, but that's neither here nor there. That was Bob Iger's smart-ass decision. Said no one ever. But back to this, though. She has also helped CBS News cultivate a relationship with Oprah Winfrey, a close friend who has been a supporter of King since the two were together earlier in their respective careers. For a time, King helped run Winfrey's magazine, published by Hearst, would leave her morning show duties for a full day of magazine work in the late morning and afternoon. And a lot of people don't recognize this, but when the Oprah Winfrey Network first started, there was the Gayle King show that was on Oprah Radio. But before that, it was Oprah and Friends, when it was Sirius XM Satellite Radio and Sirius Satellite Radio. And so Gayle King left that show that was on Oprah and Friends radio on Sirius XM, and also Oprah Radio, and also too was simulcast on the Oprah Winfrey Network. Gayle King left the Oprah Winfrey Network to come to CBS News. Okay. I know that was a lot, okay, but listen, we're a lot over here, okay? All right, more coming up here for you right from the space right here, right now. Here's some good news. From NBC News, Sean Grayson found guilty in the murder in the death of Sonia Massey. Sean Grayson, a former Illinois sheriff deputy, was on trial for the 2024 killing of Massey, a black mother of two, who had called 911 about possible power. So here is the piece of shit bastard right there. He was found guilty. Ladies and gentlemen, Sean Grayson, a former Illinois sheriff deputy, was convicted Wednesday of second-degree murder in the 2024 death of Sonia Massey, a black mother of two, and called 911 about possible prowler. Grayson was charged with first-degree murder, but jury instructions included the option to convict him of the lesser charge of second-degree murder. Jurors deliberated for almost 12 hours after closing arguments ended late Tuesday morning. Grayson's family cried and held hands as the verdict was read. I don't know why the Grayson family cried and held hands, because he did what the fuck he did. So, just saying. Like, and this is where we gotta have a real conversation. And this is also to all the black police officers too. Just because you are a black police officer don't mean they give a fuck about you. Let's get that straight. People will never feel safe with police because we live in a society where your existence is a mental crime to somebody just for you breathing. And if you know your history, police was created to round up who? Slaves. Like I said, know your history. But moving on. Outside the courthouse, protesters celebrated the guilty verdict and chanted, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus," which is what Sonia Massey said when she sadly passed away unnecessarily, I might add. Attorneys Ben Crump and Antonio Romanucci, who represented her family in a $10 million civil lawsuit, said that they believe Grace's action warranted a first-degree murder conviction, but that it was still a measure of justice for Sonia Massey. "I'm fueled by rage right now," Sonia Massey, one of Sonia's cousins, said outside the courthouse. "If you get an officer who says he's going to pow you in the face and then he pows you in the face, you don't get second-degree murder." I fully agree with that logic there. Former federal prosecutor Mark Trucktow said the defense made a strategic decision to include the second-degree murder charge. The prosecution likely felt confident about their case and was willing to go for an all or nothing verdict, but the defense did not want to take that chance. So they advocate for a lesser included charge. He told NBC News Grayson faces 4 to 20 years in prison for second-degree murder under state law. He'll most likely be eligible to get day-to-day credit for good behavior in prison, which means he can only be ended up serving half his sentence. Massey's father, James Wilburn, says he hoped the judge gives Grayson the maximum sentence. He showed no remorse. He was cocky throughout the whole trial until he was convicted. Wilburn said, "Yeah, that knocked the smirk off." Right here, Grayson was charged in July 2024 in the fatal powering of Massey, who had called authorities over concerns about the possible prowler outside her Springfield home. Body camera video shows the moment she was powed and illed in her kitchen during a confrontation over a pot boiling water. Her death led calls for justice and protests across the country and reignited scrutiny about law enforcement powerings of black people in their homes. Grayson is white. There's a difference in this country when you have my skin color, Grace's skin color. We need serious justice, not miscarriage of justice, and that happened here in Peoria. Wilburn said Illinois Sonia Massey Act was signed in August requiring stricter background checks and police hiring. Well, I think it needs to go bigger than background checks, like the story that we talked about, where there was a young man that had a crippled Doritos bag, and so because it looked like a firearm, police, just got this kid on the ground, but AI fucked up. And I said those police officers deserve to lose their pension and their retirement, and they fucking do. So if you do this, you deserve to lose your pension, your retirement, your Social Security, your health benefits. You deserve to lose fucking everything. And I'll never forget a conversation I had with my mom. And I said, well, why can't the young people ask the aunties and uncles who are police officers if they give a damn about black people? My mom was like, well, Bray, there's always a way to say everything. I'm like, okay, but when does it get to a point where you say what needs to be said. Because uncle, auntie, or whoever's a police officer in the family ain't gonna be that bold to do that in front of that family member. Either lay there, roll over, or take in the words of Maurice Scott, or shut the fuck up. That's where we are. Okay? That's where we are. So, child, anyway. Into it. Testified he was not scared by Massey's actions. He said he drew his weapon because he was trying to back my partner. In closing arguments, the defense pointed out Farley amended his police report after Grayson was charged with first-degree murder, arguing Farley lied to change his account. The body cam video central to this case was played in the courtroom 3 times, showing Massey talking to deputies and removing a pot of hot water from her stove shortly before the powering. Monday, Grayson took to the stand his own defense, telling the court he believed Massey was going to throw the boiling water after she said, "I rebuke you in the mighty name of Jesus." Child. Ooh, the delusions some people have. He testified that he took her remark as a threat. That's why he drew his firearm. Grayson said he did not try to use his stun gun because he was not sure whether it would work because of her clothing. I didn't want to take the chance of the taser malfunctioning, he said. In closing arguments Tuesday, First Assistant State Attorney Mary Beth Rogers said Massey made no sudden movements and complied peacefully with the order to drop the power wire. "I'm so sorry. That's the last thing Sonia Massey said before the defendant murdered her. Just like he said he would. He told the jury he wants you to believe that he was scared, but you do not have to believe that because it's not true," Rogers said. Rogers argued that Grayson did not get to claim self-defense, justified his powering because he provoked the use of force himself. Daniel Fuchs, Grayson's attorney, said Massey did initially comply and put the pot down, but she escalated the situation when she put the pot back up, stood up and raised over her head, began to throw it. He argued that Grayson drew his weapon to gain Massey's compliance, said her death was a tragedy but not a crime. "You are not here to decide whether or not Sean Grayson followed every single policy, every national best practice, every policing principle that experts believe he should follow." He said his closing argument, "That's not what we're doing in this criminal court today." Folks said Grayson believed his pistol was his only option. He highlighted expert testimony that Grayson had to advance toward Massey to maintain a line of sight on her. Fultz asked jurors not to let their emotions dictate the outcome of the case. In Sangamon County State's Attorney John Mitchell's final closing argument to the jury, he argued that it was Grayson who let his emotions dictate what happened in Massey's kitchen. These were not the actions of a scared young police officer doing dangerous jobs. These are the actions of a bully. Mr. said if anyone was in crisis, it was him. He snapped. Ended. So, that is what it is there with that. Of course, he did what the fuck he did. And shout out to rollingout.com, celebrating 25 years on to the next 25. Jury's controversial verdict in the Sonia Massey case. I basically gave you the intel there. And it has divided opinion because, as you guys heard, it was what it was. And we also got to recognize that justice is not always fair. But at least this was on the record that this has happened, right? So I just wanted to bring that to y'all attention there with that. So thank God justice was done. Now, with that being said, more Burnley's Virtual Tour Live coming up right from this space. Whoa, right here, right now. Let me bring that to you all here. Once again, rollingout.com, celebrating 25 years on to the next 25. Prison officials. Okay, come on now. There we go. Prison officials set Diddy's tentative freedom date. The music mogul was sentenced to 50 months in federal prison on prostitution charges, with officials projecting a potential release in 2028. The Bureau of Prisons website list May 8th, 2028 as the music mogul's potential release date for following his sentencing on prostitution charges in his federal case. The hip-hop entrepreneur is currently serving a 50-month sentence at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn after being convicted on prostitution-related charges. He avoided more serious allegations of racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking that were a part of the federal case against him. The conviction marks a dramatic landfall for one of the entertainment industry's most successful figures who built a business empire spanning music, fashion, and media. So this date, May 8th, 2028, represents an estimate rather than a guaranteed release time. Multiple factors will influence when Diddy actually walks out of federal custody. He could potentially gain early release for good behavior credits, or the prison program is designed to reduce sentences for qualifying inmates. Well, apparently, child, he almost lost his life in jail because somebody had a shake to his neck, allegedly. Or the prison program is designed to reduce sentences for qualifying inmates. Conversely, disciplinary issues or other complications could extend his time behind bars beyond the projected date. Federal inmates typically become eligible for various programs that can shorten their sentences. These include participating in educational courses, vocational training, or substance abuse treatment programs. The specifics of how these opportunities might apply to today's situation remain to be determined as he navigates the federal prison system. Now, of course, it's been said that 47 could pardon Diddy, but from what I have been reading, no go. Diddy has expressed interest in serving his sentence at FCI Fort Dix. I don't know why you would advocate for Fort Dix when people said that you might have some sugar in your tank, but hey, that's neither here nor there. Yes. The facility will keep him relatively close to New York City because that institution is in New Jersey. Much of his business empire is centered in where many of his family members and associates are housed. The presiding judge indicated openness today being housed somewhere near the New York area. However, the final decision about where Diddy serves his time rests with the Bureau of Prisons rather than the courts. So there is that. There, just in case you guys did not know that. By the way, life inside MDC Brooklyn, the detention center has faced criticism over the years for various conditions, including power outages, heating failures, and other infrastructure problems that have drawn attention from advocacy groups and media outlets. So there is that there, in case you guys did not know about that. And then, of course, he has been shifted over to Fort Dix facility as his sentence continues. So the 55-year-old artist entrepreneur was transferred this week from the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, where he's been housed since the September 2024 arrest. The move marks a notable shift in his environment and signals the correctional system's response to ongoing concerns regarding rehabilitation and safety. So Sean Combs is currently serving a 50-month federal sentence following his conviction this summer on charges related to transportation for illicit sexual activity. The case, which drew national attention, reshaped his public image and career trajectory almost overnight. Fort Dix, lower security federal prison set on a spacious New Jersey campus, is known for access to drug treatment resources and broader visitation allowances. These factors were central to the formal request submitted by his legal counsel. So there it is there. So he is at Fort Dix now. So yeah, the facility, one of the largest of its type in the country, functions at a lower security level than MDC. The grounds are more open, data structure more predictable, and there are broader opportunities for work assignments and rehabilitative programming. So, and also too, more consistent family contact as well. And of course, maintain connections outside the prison walls has long been tied to improvements in inmate outcomes both during and after incarceration. So there it is there. So with that being said, everybody, let me see what time we're at. Oh, we're making good on time. So right here, check this out. So this is from rollout.com right here. Baller Alert CMO Chloe Gilbert turns faith into a marketing force. The Baller Alert CMO discusses Detroit roots, digital market evolution, while authentic storytelling trumps viral content. Chloe Gilbert blends faith and culture, crafting stories that both move hearts and brands. As Chief Marketing Officer of Baller Alert and lead pastor of United Church. Wait a minute, come on now. A pastor and a chief marketing officer. Go ahead, Queen. I ain't mad at it. She transforms how brands tell stories while staying rooted in ministry. The Detroit native brings a unique perspective to digital marketing, emphasizing authentic connection over viral moments and community building over broad reach. How did you become Chief Marketing Officer of Baller Alert? I absolutely should not be here if it wasn't for Robin Lynn, CEO of Baller Alert. Prior to joining this team, I worked for major brands in-house and agencies like McCann, Elderman. I worked with Adidas, Fear of God, and had a credible journey mentored by people at those organizations. I started as a project manager, became a brand manager, eventually stepped out on my own, working with brands and artists. Robin saw something in me, a desire, passion, and skills. She made moves behind the scenes. I couldn't be more excited about this opportunity and responsibility. What was the defining moment when you realized you were built for leadership? I think it was the first time I was kicked out of someone else's table. There are a lot of times, especially as Black women, you approach tables and you're not given a seat. You take that as you're not fit or it's not for you. Eventually, I realized that if there weren't tables willing to open up a seat for me, it was time that I began shaping my own. I'm blessed to have come across women in the industry who have given me advice, picked me up, held me accountable when I made mistakes. I found myself pacing in the hallways, watching God shut doors so that I stopped pacing. I can think of times where I was excited about a role, then a year later, that passion was gone. I realized I don't just want to be a part of narratives. I want to shape them instead of me contributing to the culture. I can actually help shape it. How did your Detroit upbringing influence your leadership style? Detroit is the greatest place on earth. My father pastored a church in Redford, in Detroit, Michigan. I watched him live both his dreams. He was an executive in the automotive industry and became a pastor. So it runs in the family, dual roles. I love that. Because of that, I learned to live my life with no limits. My understanding of what I could do had less to do about limitations of others and more about limitations of my discipline. My father passed away about 8 years ago. My whole life was turned upside down. People I had known all my life suddenly were not good friends. Things my parents sacrificed for were taken from us overnight. I learned from him that a hurting heart gives you no right to act immediately. I watched him allow his discipline, passion, and purpose to drive him instead of his feelings. Wow. What does it mean to lead a brand that reports and creates culture? Social media and culture can be quite noisy sometimes. My mission is to make sure our stories continue to have soul, because data gets attention, but truth gets remembered. Come through. That was a bar. Data gets attention, but truth gets remembered. You know, somebody said that noise equals attention and sound equals purpose. Oh, wait, that was me. But right there, that's a close second. I like that. Being a part of a community that has always shaped my culture, I see my role as bringing impactful meaning to education. We can build our backstory on no's, where we can build our backstory on yeses. I choose to root myself in hope and focus on the yeses. Unfortunately, we've been told a lot of stories through trauma, not necessarily with the motivating factor of why we choose to move forward with follow alert. I'm excited to continue shaping narratives and bring additional meaning to the stories we've already told. And I will just say this, right? I think when it comes to creating culture, there's definitely a responsibility for that. And I never forget that. I never forget that when I am, live with all of you, each and every time I am live with all of you. Sometimes in life, when you don't recognize your contributions, you will allow the space of being known to dictate your movement. And you have to be careful with that, because words do have power. The only way it will ever matter to somebody is the weight that you put behind it. How do you define marketing? People are really brands. Your content is literally your commercial. Every time you post something, it's your opportunity to build trust. You get to tell the world what you value, not just what you sell. Marketing used to be about sales and conversion. Now we live in a society where we're inundated with marketing. People sell themselves. It's about loyalty and values. Do I align with the beliefs of this thing? When I see marketing now, it's what do you believe? How are you communicating your values? Are you staying consistent? We are not selling products or selling yourself anymore. You're talking about values, amplifying those, and creating opportunities for people to connect. What marketing misconceptions do you challenge? Your first or your best? If you're not first to do it, how do you do it the best possible way? Strip out all the noise, all the junk. What are you really trying to say? People want to feel connected to something. One of the biggest misconceptions is broad stroke marketing, going for all men, all women, everyone. People are more multifaceted than that. I'm interested in the 18-year-old who works out and does specific things. Peloton found a niche community of stay-at-home parents who want to be fit but didn't have the time. If you create enough niche inspiration, people will flock to what you're doing because most people are learners. How do ministry and business inform each other in your leadership? I watch my father live both dreams separately. For me, I'm not going away. Having my foundation in ministry coming first is where my discipline and values come from. Just because someone doesn't have the same belief, skin tone, sexual orientation as me doesn't mean I treat them differently. It makes my ideation simpler because I'm not closed-minded. Anytime I get frustrated, I change seats. Let me think about this as a consumer, as a single mom, as a dad of 6 kids. It constantly puts me in a space of thinking about other people. I haven't seen a conflict. It's been extremely seamless. What does your mantra, just keep going, mean to you? When I graduated high school, my parents bought me a book called Failing Forward. I read another called Do Hard Things. Here I am now constantly reminding myself to do the hard thing. Failure is a part of the journey. Even if you're stagnant and choose to do nothing, time is still passing. You have to decide every single day if this really means something to you. You take that 5 minutes, call a friend, hold yourself accountable, find your sister circle or your brother circle as well, to all the men out there. People that can genuinely hold you accountable for your passions and the things you say you want to do. Just keep moving, because failing is a part of flying. Come through. Follow Chloe Gilbert on social media, Chloe Gilbert, and connect with Unified Church for more insights on faith-driven leadership. First of all, congratulations. Absolutely. Congratulations. I'm loving it. I think it is wonderful to see a Black woman, not just as a chief marketing officer, but also too in the world of faith. And you know how they always say, well, why are you doing this secular job? Because, child, not everybody goes to church on Sunday. Sometimes you got to have something Monday through Friday so you can get to your Sunday. And that's how I live my life. So congratulations to this beautiful, beautiful sister right there. Wonderful, wonderful stuff there. All right, speaking of wonderful stuff, it's time to talk about the Thompsons, everybody. From People Magazine, People.com, Megan Thee Stallion drops hint that she's moving in with NBA boyfriend Klay Thompson. I'm calling them the Thompsons now, because there was a fan that did that and said, shut up, my favorite show, The Thompsons, is on. So we're calling them the Thompsons from now. The Body Singer posted a photo of her holding keys to Instagram on October 29th. So there is Klay and Megan there, and the keys there looks like to a new house. Megan Thee Stallion is hinting at major moves. This is what you need to know. October 29th, the rapper posted a picture of the two holding their keys in front of what appears to be a new home. The artist also included photos of her NBA boyfriend, Klay Thompson. A hot girl is moving in. On Wednesday, October 29th, the rapper Megan Thee Stallion posted to her Instagram to post a dump of recent photos, according to her caption. The first side, the Plan B singer, 30, and boyfriend Klay Thompson, 35, form a heart with their hands in front of a nicely landscaped house. In between her fingers is a key and yellow keychain, perhaps implying a new home purchase there. So there is that there. This is making me so happy. And y'all, listen, that's Miss Thompson. Okay, listen, this is Miss Thompson. Okay, please address her accordingly. I'm so happy for them. Since I was just talking to a coworker yesterday, and it's just like, yes, for this. The cat is like, okay, listen, I know I'm in your house, but why is this camera in my face, though? Of course, her Chica's tequila there. And that is a Laboo, you know. I'm not going to call it ears, because I'm thinking Mickey Minnie ears, but that's a Laboo costume, because it is Halloween. And then there is the Thompsons right there. Oh, yeah, she Miss Thompson. She is Miss Thompson. Get it up. Yes, indeed. Look at those two. Man, those two are smooth, man. Listen. The wedding is going to be baller, okay? The wedding is going to be baller. Yes, indeed. They're elsewhere, rather, in the carousel set to Megan's Lover Girl, the performer, included snaps of her side by side with her NBA player boyfriend. In the song, the artist said, she's made her man's house into a home. I turned his house into a home. I'm one hell of a morning. I'm so beautiful, gorgeous. You tell me every morning, the lyrics say. In one pic, the rapper wears a black hoodie and leans in for a sweet moment with the Dallas Mavericks guard. In another photo, the couple walks hand in hand in a sports arena tunnel. So she has been going to the games, ladies ladies and gentlemen. So she is in the Houston, Dallas area. Of course, y'all know she's from Houston as well. So full circle there. Megan wore a white crop top, brown pants, and boots, and with a cowboy pattern cowboy hat on top. Meanwhile, the basketball player opted for brown pants, brown polo, and customary jacket. The representative for Megan did not immediately respond to people's request for comment. While the artist did not confirm if the couple really moved together, the fans sent their well wishes in the comments. Megan got a man at home, and he is all good to her. Yay, wrote one user. Even collaborator Kalani jumped into the comment section to add sweetest thing. This is when they were in Arkansas golfing. We played that here. It was awesome. This is far from the first time the couple has featured each other on their social media. Just 5 days ago, Thompson was armed to join Megan for an Instagram real food review. Megan and Thompson first sparked romance rumors just days before confirming their relationship in July 2025. The stars were spotted in a series of each other's Instagram stories. And somebody spotted that on one of the chairs was Klay Thompson. Very good eyes we got around here in the culture. Very good, very good, very good. On Wednesday, July 16th, the couple made their red carpet debut at the rapper's inaugural Pete and Thomas Foundation Gala in New York City. Megan wore a haltered neck black gown complete with an intricate silver asymmetrical belt detail at the hips. Thompson went with a classic black and white tux, so there she is there. Oh, we just met, and it was such a be cute, like it was a fucking movie. Megan told people at the event about me for the first time. I won't tell you how, I won't tell you when, but it was a movie. My favorite thing about him that he's the nicest person I've ever met in my life. Since then, the couple has appeared numerous times on social media and at events, including at the Wednesday, October 22nd Dallas Maverick games against the San Antonio Spurs. So yes, indeed. So yes, indeed, yes, indeed, yes, indeed, yes, indeed. So good stuff happening there. Very, very good with them. Now, let's talk about this, y'all, because we've been waiting for P Valley for a while now. I've been meaning to talk about this with y'all. Here it is from Baller Alert. Shout out to the chief marketing officer there, Chloe Gilbert. Nikki Gilbert speaks out after court orders her to pay Lionsgate $170,000 in ongoing IP intellectual property battle over P Valley. Singer and creator Nikki Gilbert calls out systematic injustice in the entertainment industry after latest court setback. Nikki Gilbert, co-founder of R&B group Brownstone, longtime advocate for Black creators, has taken social media to speak her truth after being hit with a major financial blow in her ongoing lawsuit against Lionsgate. The fight centers on her claims that the hit series P Valley was based on her original concept, Soul Can's Cabaret. She has now been ordered to pay the entertainment giant $170,000 in legal fees. But this isn't just about money, according to Gilbert. It's about what she describes as intellectual property theft, a deeper form of violence that doesn't leave bruises but destroys generational wealth and silences voices that can't afford $1 million legal battles. In her pinned post, Gilbert draws attention to how cases like hers center on ownership, creativity, and fairness really get the same attention as headline grabbing celebrity scandals that involve pals or allegations. That doesn't make it less important. She wrote, that's violence too. So here it is here. My case isn't as high profile as Diddy, Tory Lanez, or any of the headlines you see every day, but that doesn't make it less important because not all violence looks like bruises or pal shots. Intellectual property theft, generational wealth destroyed, families bankrupted by billion-dollar corporations. That's violence too. I was just ordered to pay another $170,000 to Lionsgate on top of everything else simply for having the audacity to fight my intellectual property. No jury trial, depositions of the defendants redacted. My verified meeting with Lionsgate ignoring my expert with 30 years of experience struck from the record. Why? Because he looked at the same video tens of thousands of you have seen and said, well, you already know this looks very similar. And some people are mad not about the injustice, but because I had the courage to publicly apologize to someone else that who may be experiencing a similar abuse in the same system. Let's be real. When you look at that video with your whole chest to say my family deserves to be financially destroyed by a billion-dollar company because no reasonable person could see the similarities. This isn't about being delusional. It's not about being hilarious. It's about fairness. It's about truth. It's about what happens when a system only works for the wealthy and powerful. If you think that's what's happening to me, can't happen to you, keep watching. Not Nikki versus Goliath. Creators deserve justice. Intellectual property matters. WIRF News. Why creators matter. Due process for all. P Valley Tory Lanez. Those are all the hashtags. Child, she sounded like a female AL. Child, that's what she sounded like. She sounded like a female AL. You just want to see Nikki Gilbert in person. And child, she sounded like Thirsty Toxicity's twin sister. Because I believe it was Thirsty Toxicity that said, and I quote, that she will work with Tyler Perry before Shay Renee got to 8,000 subscribers. But, oh my God, that's 8,770 subscribers. Oh my Lord Jesus. Wow, what a shocking concept. Child, listen. According to her post, Gilbert says she was denied a jury trial, had depositions redacted, even had her third-year expert witness struck from the record. She alleges her verified meeting with Lionsgate was completely ignored in court. The system only works for the wealthy and powerful, she wrote. If you think that's what happened to me, can't happen to you. Keep watching a final swipe of court's judgment. Gilbert asked follows so they continually look at the similarities between her work and P-Valley, saying with a straight face that her family deserves to be financially destroyed over it. Gilbert's bout has become a rallying cry for other creators to fighting of ownership of their intellectual property. She's also emphasized that despite it's constitutionally protected, according to Article 1, Section 8, Clause 8 of the U.S. Constitution, also known as the Copyright Clause, which is designed to ensure creators can benefit from their original works, and then all those hashtags. Y'all, that's our show. Okay, that's our show there. But before we move on, of course, I got here from Couture Hall here. So this is from blackenterprise.com. Right here, denied on October 6, 2025, the Gilbert, who claimed my television, E. Wilson, ruled in 2023 that P-Valley is not substantially similar to So Can's Cabaret. So P-Valley is a TV adaptation of my play, Pussy Valley. During my deposition, I found an early draft of the play in 2009 email. I marveled at how much of the dialogue from the first pages was made in the P-Valley pilot. Uncle Clifford, Miss Mississippi, Mercedes, Autumn, all jumped on the page. It was a much-needed off of sheer grit. Characters that I had begun birth in 2009, finally reached everyone's screens on July 12, 2020. I disclosed that email along with over 16,000 pages of the play, TV pitches, treatments, and even early pilot P-Valley, all proof of my independent creation as an artist, exposed to my creative process. So verbally felt like a violation. Despite this discomfort, I gave the plaintiff the access she craved to no avail. This generosity was met with all attacks and lies, all part of the plaintiff's smear campaign to defame my character. Not another Kelly Price out here, my Lord. I stayed silent for years. My silence has become a liability and echo chamber of lies. I'm speaking now, not with bitterness, but with my deepest truth. P-Valley is my original work. Let's see here. I know how hard it is for Black women to be heard, believe, and supported in this industry. That is why I work relentlessly over 10 years to bring P-Valley to television, 6 years of interviewing women in locker rooms, living in living rooms all across this nation, countless no's, and one promise: I will tell your story with the respect it deserves. I remain thankful to those women who trusted me with their scars, their dreams, their rules, and their revolution. I'm a better woman for having allowed other women to take their rightful place with the sun. It is my greatest honor to continue telling their stories going to P-Valley's third season. We will be reviewing it. Okay? One of my new favorite Uncle Clifford rules is this: you ain't got to stand on business. You ain't got to stand on people, but stand on business. Make that on a t-shirt and sell it. While this long, arduous ordeal has tested my reputation and patience, I wish the plaintiff peace. I'm so thankful the truth has prevailed, allowing me to finally close this difficult chapter. So there you go. Congratulations to Couture Hall there, y'all. Oh, my Lord Jesus, child. That's what we do around here. That is what we do around here. You know what I mean? So, very, very, very nice. Very, very nice. Now, I want to bring up something here. That was very important because y'all know we always end it with a positive news story. And sometimes a positive news story is an actual positive news story. And then other times it's a positive news story because at least you can be positive that this ain't you. And when I saw this story, right, I want to bring this to y'all because I'm just like, who the hell would do this? So y'all give me a moment as I pull this story up. Give me a moment. I saw this. I'm just like, are we really doing this? Okay, so here it is, y'all, from page 6, child. I don't know why. You know, there's different Christmas gifts you can give, right? There's different ones. Check this out. From page 6. Kim Kardashian gifted her Allsfair co-stars polarizing salmon sperm facials. I'm not joking. She gave the cast, she gave her co-stars of Who's All's Fair, you know, hang on. Kim Kardashian's cast gifts for co-stars and Who's All Fair are exactly the over-the-top array that you would expect from the actress, along with Price from Skims, Balenciaga, and Gucci. Kardashian gave each of her cast members a popular celebrity beauty treatment, salmon sperm facials. Child, why? So the facial was tucked into an envelope, an addition Kardashian was excited about, but later learned that none of them had used it yet. Courtney went to go get a facial yesterday at the salmon sperm place, and they said, none of the girls have used it, so I'm going to give you a free one. She shared, and I was like, why wouldn't you get it? Tiana Taylor quickly replied, "Well, I was so excited about the gifts, I don't think I opened the envelope. It was some salmon sperm in there. Girl, why didn't you say that?" To which Niecy Nash Betts added, "I'm using mine." Okay. Just a few days ago, Kardashian borrowed lube from Naomi Watts' beauty brand Stripes for helping getting into her latex thigh highs. So it's clear the group has gotten very close over the course of filming the global press tour. Child, I guess. Let me turn off this camera because we've done the whole show for over an hour. My Lord Jesus. My Lord, my Lord, my Lord, my Lord. Give me a moment, y'all. It's the delusions of grandeur for me. But anyway, y'all, that's our show. Like I said, Hurricane Melissa, prayers up to the Caribbean, Haiti, and everybody involved. Jamaica as well. Very, very sad. If there's any more updates, of course, you know, I'll bring them to you. Gayle King leaving CBS Mornings potentially. That's a very, very sad state of affairs to be. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on a second. Some breaking news here. Give me a moment. Right here, Stern Gayle King fires back claim that she's leaving CBS Mornings. They want me here. Right here. All I can say is this from what I'm being told inside this building. I've been told by everybody is, all I can say is this from what I'm being told inside this building. All I've been told by everybody in this building is that they want me here. They like the job I'm doing. I like the job I'm doing. King 70 told an Inquirer TMZ paparazzi. So there you go. So Gayle King has responded. Like I said, we shall see what happens, but until it's official, it ain't official. Sonia Massey and that piece of shit bastard getting the second-degree murder charge. Congratulations. He deserved to be held accountable for what he did. So that's what's up. PD may get out in 2028. He's at Fort Dix now. Child. You did what you did, child. Lord Jesus, retribution starts now. Chloe Gilbert, the chief marketing officer of Baller Alert, and a pastor over her own church. Very well done to you, sister, and God bless you on your journey. And can't wait to see more great things from you. The Thompsons, Megan Pete Thompson and Klay Thompson, they may have moving in together. If they have, congratulations I can't wait for the West. It's gonna be so good. Then P Valley, the twin sister of Thirsty Toxicity, and also to the black female version of AL, lost in court to Katori Hall. And then of course, at least you are not having a salmon sperm facial this morning. So a lot going on here. One love, much love, all love. I feel the love, and I send it right back to you. I'll see you guys a little bit later on tonight because myself, Florentin, and Phil, we got something good for y'all. One love, much love, all love. I feel love. Send it right back to you. Bye, everybody.
Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer.
And that.
I thought I should tell you, they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you, and you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you, they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you, and you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you, they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you, and you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now, they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you.
Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. But
Child, Brandon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying